I did the Playboy stuff like before nursing school.
Before it, okay.
Yeah, and I was doing that while I was like doing my music stuff and figuring out other stuff, and just I got signed with a supplement company super young, so I was working with them.
Oh, okay.
And I got it from every spectrum. So I got the fitness side, and then I got like the modeling Playboy side, and then
so
I got all
this time you're sort of building up your social media following. Is that why you have like 11 million followers or whatever it is? Because you've been building it for so long.
Yeah, and I think I got in early too, which is
Yeah.
like I was like one of the first ones. There's me and like a couple girls that got in super early.
Like, wait, 2011 is when Instagram came out?
Is it
Was
really?
it about then?
Oh
I think that's when I
gosh.
got on, I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now 2020, they're ruining it.
You think it's done?
No, I don't know. They're all their rules are just insane.
Mm.
But yeah, so I did that, and while I was doing that, then I was like, okay, well, this isn't gonna last forever. Maybe I should be smart. And my mom was like, you need to go to college.
So the Bitcoin thing just really worked out for you. Wow.
Yeah, it's not just Bitcoin. Like, he trades with it. Like, it's crazy. I don't even really know much about it. I trusted him that much because I was hanging out with him for a while, and I would see all these celebrities investing with him. I'm like, okay, if they're doing it, then it's pretty safe because I don't think they're stupid, So
Right.
then I was like, okay, and I gave him a little bit, and he did what he did, and I was like, holy shit, like, that's insane. So I gave him more, and now I like don't even have to give him any more because I'm just making so much off of it that it's just insane.
Wow.
I literally, like, all the other money that I make, I pretty much like save or invest in other things. And then the money I make off him, I just get like monthly dividends, and I just live off that.
So it's safe to say that you've made millions off Bitcoin?
Yeah. No,
Wow.
I wouldn't say it's just Bitcoin because, like I said, there's multiple coins, that go up and down,
Okay.
and he's in and out of the market every
Just
day.
like the
He's a day
whole crypto
trader.
world in general.
Yeah. So
And
he
this is
trades
just your
every
dude,
day.
and you just trust him that he's not just involved in some crazy conspiracy or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen returns. Like, most of the stuff I've bought or have, my house, my cars, everything has been from that and him, and like my family's invested and my friends, and I've got like a few athlete friends and all these people that have invested. So I'm like, it's insane.
Do you have so are you paying constant attention to like the price of Bitcoin and shit?
No.
I don't know a ton about it.
I don't either,
let's be straight
honestly.
up.
That's so bad. My manager, my social media manager that I've been with for a while, he was like, he's super good with numbers and super smart. I'm definitely not smart with numbers. I don't know
Same.
math, money. Like, I can't do any of that.
Yeah,
So
that ain't
I
me.
trust him, and he knows all that, and he pays attention to that. And so if it wasn't for him, like, I don't know if I would have done that and made the step. But again, I was like, okay, this is like all I have. I'm all in.
Right.
So if this is screwed, I'm screwed. And it's insane.
So was getting into just being like an Instagram model and doing all the deals and brand stuff that comes with that, was that just sort of something you figured out that you like didn't really have to do at all? That's just sort of what you've ended up doing?
I mean, the trading thing has only been for 2 years.
Oh, okay, 2 years.
So before that, yeah, I mean, I was taking all the brand deals. I think that also hurt some of my engagement too, because back then I was like, I'm just gonna get paid. Like, I just want this money. Like, anyone would wish they can get paid off Instagram, And then there'd be people that like, oh, I'm gonna work hard so my daughter doesn't have to post, fit tea or protein powder or whatever. I'm like, well, you're an idiot because all you have to do is post a picture.
Okay, but let's
know?
talk about the fucking fit tea. Do you feel
my God.
any sort of moral obligation to not push this poisonous, toxic, fake shit on little girls?
I mean, I feel like if somebody really thinks that, I honestly, like, it may work for some people, just like other trends or fit things or, diets work for other people. I mean, it did make me shit my brains out. So
Really?
maybe you do lose weight, but
Oh, that sounds great. Maybe I should try it, yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you feel good about what you do, and it's,
You probably never even thought about the idea that there's anything wrong with it
I
at
didn't,
that
but-
time,
no, I
too.
didn't.
Now people are trying to make it into such a thing. And it's kind of weird because nobody was thinking about it like that, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be completely honest. I advertise shit on this podcast that I don't actually endorse. I don't actually know anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't at the time, and I
Right.
don't think it's bad. I mean, it's tea. Like, how bad could it be?
I have no idea.
I don't think, but
I'm just repeating the
they
shit
took
that I
care of
heard
me.
feminists say on the internet.
Yeah. But you know what? They took care of me, and it led to other stuff, and it was like I paid my bills with that. So I feel like, hey,
Are you
What do you
Fashion
do?
Nova or Boohoo? It's
Fashion
like being
Nova,
a
I
blood or a
think.
grape.
I don't even know what's boohoo.
I don't know. I just fucking know that they're at war with each other. And
Oh
that-
gosh.
I've gotten offers from both for Instagram, but I didn't end up doing the
Do
Boohoo one.
it.
And I don't know if Fashion Nova would be kind of tight. I don't know if they'd be hyped on me doing both at the same time.
I mean, hey, I don't think they care, honestly. I heard they're pretty cool.
It's actually really weird because there's just, when they are doing the Fashion Nova men's thing, it's like they don't have that many dudes who fit into the category. Like, I feel like I'm a stretch. There's
Yeah.
so many girls that just want to post photos and cute outfits on
Yeah.
Instagram, and that's just their brand
But
anyway.
I feel like
so.
in your lane, like who else is in your lane? Like nobody.
I mean,
like,
I see them getting rappers,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
but I think a lot of rappers don't want to do it. They just don't give a fuck about
I mean, I
it.
don't think they even have to, do they? You know, so they don't, like you said, they don't care.
Yeah.
But again, who doesn't want side money?
I just see them all the time posting photos in like a Versace shirt that you can't see the logo in that one photo, and they're just like, "Bing, Fashion Nova Men's." Ha ha.
That's so funny. Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen that everywhere. But you know what? Hey,
But so
can't do it forever.
you don't do a ton of shit with Fashion Nova though?
No, I just actually started talking to them. So they seem like super cool. Like everyone's like, they're easy, they're super cool to work with. I mean, their clothes are cute, they're cheap. Like, why not? It's like the new thing.
Pretty
I feel
Little
like.
Thing is the other one that I see constantly. And when I was in England, that shit is like a fucking gang out there. It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
because isn't like it?
It's from there, yeah.
Yeah, their sizes are a little crazy. When I was trying to order, I was like, what do I order?
Really?
I don't know. I
UK
don't know how to
thing.
do it. Yeah.
We need a conversion chart.
Right? Exactly.
That's crazy. So okay, yeah, you like start doing the. Was there ever like a time where you were sort of like self-conscious about showing your body on Instagram or anything like that? Did that even get into your brain?
No, and I think people just like make up this thing like it's so bad. Like you said, now I feel like it's more, okay to do. But I feel like my whole life like I said, I started like with the Playboy thing. I've always been comfortable in my own skin. I would walk around with nothing. My mom was like, yeah, when I started working with Playboy, she's like, okay, I knew it. I knew it because it's just how I was. But I don't know. I've always been comfortable whatever size I'm at. I've never been like, uncomfortable with my body, but like I fluctuate between like 10 pounds, so sometimes I'm like, oh my God, but you have to own it. Like it's your body. So
do you
I've
think there
never
was
felt
anything
weird.
about the way that your mom raised you that made you like comfortable with being like that? Because
Probably.
I always think
Yeah.
about that. Like,
I think so for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she was very open and she always talked to me about stuff and she let me be me. And, she had a lot of pep talking to do with me for being bullied. So I feel like, it's definitely because I have some cousins that are like, they disown me because of what I do. Yeah. And I'm like, we were in the same family, but everyone's just, even my own cousins are jealous or they resent me or they're like super religious and they think I'm going to hell.
Really?
And I'm like, oh my God. Like, yeah. So I'm just, you just have to be you.
Because
do what you
people are
do.
always like, oh, like, how are your kids going to feel about you
Yeah.
having sex with your girlfriend on the internet? And I'm like, I feel like my kids would probably end up pretty open-minded about shit because of the fact that their entire life they're going to have to deal with the fact that they got these crazy-ass parents that are not like crazy, but,
But think about it. They can always talk to you.
immaterial things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're going to end up being pretty fucking open-minded, and that might not seem like such a big deal once they do figure it out.
Not at all.
Right.
No. Not judgmental. My parents weren't judgmental, like any of that kind of stuff. So I think it's easy and you're more free to be who you want to be. And, everyone's going to mess up. Everyone's going to go through phases. Everyone's going to do that. But if you feel like you can't talk to your parents or that it's like wrong to be a certain way, like, I mean, think about it. Your kids are going to watch porn one day. So what's the difference?
Yeah. I'll be
hopefully not
happy for
yours, but-
if my kids want to go back and watch a classic from 2018 of his pops having sex. Be my guest.
I mean, I'm sure his friends at school are going to talk about it.
If you need to see that, it's whatever. I mean, but by the time, think about it, like I'm nonstop doing shit on the internet and you're in the same category and everybody else, not a huge percentage of other people I know are all in the same category. That we're putting crazy shit on the internet every single day. And by the time your kid really is going to be like paying attention to that, that's going to be like 15 years from now. That's so far away. There's so much shit that you're going to put on the internet that they're just going to have so much that, and I feel like almost everybody's going to be like that because there's fucking bikini pictures of everybody's mom on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any difference. It's so funny because people are like, you do porn. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even get naked. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, everything is porn. If you show your skin, it's porn. I'm like, okay, everything is porn.
But people who live in the middle of the country who aren't like around Snapchat girls and stuff tend to like think of the world so differently than the way that people in Hollywood
But they're
do.
still watching it, so.
Right. They're tuned in. They just like, they just don't understand like what's really going on in a lot of stuff. I mean, these are the same people who watch like reality TV and really think that this shit is actually just happening, and it just so happens that the scene is perfectly well lit.
Right, and it's no.
Like,
they don't know.
You know how long it takes to light a set where they're going to shoot a TV show. It's like, this doesn't just happen.
Yeah, I know. I actually didn't know that for a long time until I did my first music video. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here for so long, like ready, waiting, because it's like so important. Like I wouldn't know the difference. That's not my specialty, but it's insane.
And it kind of makes it hard to not peel back the veil. And when you're watching a video of like a bunch of girls partying around a rapper and you're like a 14-year-old kid and you don't know shit, you're like, oh my God, it must be so great to be him.
They don't know
these girls all over him. And then you grow up and you realize like, no, those girls all got paid and they're bored as fuck and they were snorting Adderall in the bathroom.
Exactly.
They're eating sun chips and Nutri-Grain bars all day.
Again, not sponsored.
Two more of our sponsors.
For sure. That's I mean, reality versus like the real life. Actually, it's so funny. We were just talking about this. I've recently like collabed with a few girls because I'm trying to like
to branch out and make friends.
A little bit. It's hard.
You should be friends with my girl because I feel like my girl's like exactly like the way that you're explaining yourself.
That's so great. Yeah, I actually just like talked to her the other day, which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, totally. We're gonna meet up for sure. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, you know what's weird too is I feel like girls in that industry are like more open and cool about things, and they're just like, yeah. Versus like these other girls, man, like I've seen them and they show up. I'm like, where is she? Like, where is this person?
They look so different.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing.
Right.
I was like, what do you mean? I do everything I can to strive to be the way that I want to be, you know? I got my nose done. I got my boobs done. I got whatever. It's like, whatever, just be honest about it. But again, how do you not look like your photos? You're building a whole brand off of something that's not even you.
I know. And sometimes when you meet these girls where that's what you're thinking and you can tell that that's what they're thinking is that they sort of walk around constantly super self-conscious of the fact that they look so different in real life.
Yeah. That's insane weird to me. Yeah. I can't. Like, of course, everybody photoshops and does stuff, but I'm like, to an extent, you know, like that's just over the top.
So that's your total plastic surgery list is nose, lips, breasts?
Yeah. And then I recently actually got lipo on my chin.
Really?
I'm so excited about it.
Damn.
I mean, I'm like thin already, but like I just didn't like it. And I was like, I hate the way I look from the side.
A little flap hanging down there?
Yeah, it was just like a little bit. And I noticed it. I mean, I don't think anyone else noticed it.
How much did that cost to get that little thing sucked out?
$7,000.
$7,000? That's what like average plastic surgery pretty much ends up being,
probably.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, my boobs I got like for free because I like did like a promo for them.
You promoted it. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. But, and then I do my lips and Botox like everybody else.
How do you feel about people who would say though that there's something like destructive about people who are putting out these ideas? Like, do you feel like there's anything wrong with sort of putting out this like image of yourself, whereas a lot of like young girls maybe are not like clued in enough to know that it takes a lot of fucking work to keep your body and everything looking this way?
You know, I mean, I was self-conscious about those things before, and then I got them done, and now I'm not. So I feel like everybody has some type of, you know, issue mentally or physically or whatever. And if I feel like if you can fix that and feel better, then why not? You know, I don't think that's bad at all because I'm just trying to match how I feel on the inside on the outside.
I totally agree. Yeah,
it's
fuck
like
it, man.
Who cares? You
it's
know,
2019.
But I mean, there's gonna be those people that care.
I do. I mean, I still at the end of the day am never gonna be able to stop thinking that it's kind of weird to just like that it's become so normalized that our idea of beauty so often involves like completely manipulating and changing through plastic surgery. But at the end of the day, it's like, is that really so different than, you know, like some guy who is just thought of as being this like really great looking guy, but he spends 2 hours a day in the gym? What's the fucking difference?
It's just like, not you're going another knife or you're not getting, you know what I'm saying? But even some of them, they freaking, you know, inject themselves with, you know, test or whatever.
And if you think about getting a nose job, it's like realistically, that's fucking nothing in comparison. That's like literally just having a tiny sliver of your face shaved off. And it hurts and it costs a bunch of money. But is that really so invasive?
I mean, you don't want to be down on yourself. Think about it. There's people that have so many issues that they can't control. So if you can control it and make yourself feel better, then why not? And look, I mean, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own, like, what they like. Because there's so many guys that love, like, the girl next door, like, natural look, whatever. And then there's the guys that look, you know, like the Barbie girls or the big tits or whatever. Like, everybody has. If you don't want to get plastic surgery, that's on you. You know, no one's telling you to.